suppressing it.
We're live.
How's it going?
Hello, everyone. It's Fish Shozo here with Pope Metallica.
How's it going, guys?
And today we're discussing The Boys. And that we have a lot of ups and downs, a lot of debates on how this season went. The Boys season 3 of The Boys. And before we go on season 3 plot lines, let's talk about season 2. Let's talk about some of season 2. So now the Boys season 2, some reason mostly focused the Boys season 2, a lot of people have problems with. I mean, because of how the show seemed kind of pointless. The plot line, a lot of stuff in that season seemed kind of pointless.
Yeah, it just kind of didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, no, this season sees a lot of stuff changes though.
Yeah, I think maybe a lot of stuff in season 2 that maybe seemed pointless at the time was actually setting up stuff for season 3.
Yeah, because
you see a lot of payoff in season 3.
Yeah, because in season 2, the most pointless thing that happened was the whole deep thing, which because him joining the church, the collective didn't really go anywhere at all. Especially since he just got killed off. Like, so that meant nothing.
Yeah, I don't know where they were going with that. Like maybe taking a dig at Scientology or something like that.
But you can't just do a plot line just to do that. It actually has to go somewhere.
Yeah, you can take a dig at him while you're doing a certain plot, but it has to lead somewhere.
So you can't just have them and they just die. And they just die. So what was the point of that storyline?
Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe they thought it was going to be something else, but the Deep was never really a great character anyway.
He's slightly better in this season.
Yeah, he did.
And the whole now I had no problem with. I didn't have much of a problem with Stormfront.
No, I thought she was done pretty well.
Yeah. So, yeah, but yeah, they did because here's the thing: the main goal of the show was to kill the Seven, especially Homelander, but most especially the Seven. That's the main goal of the point of the show.
Yeah,
the Boys have to kill the Seven somehow. That's the main thing that made me interested.
Yeah, and I think it's the whole subplot with Starlight was pretty good. That you have somebody in the Seven who's kind of working against them.
Yes, exactly. That's the main point of the show storyline. Because that's a major fix from the comic book. Because the comic book they didn't fight the Seven. They just went off and fight a bunch of characters that don't really matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and the whole personal duel between Homelander and Butcher is always great.
I also wish it was also great in the first season. That the second season lacked was the personal duel between Hughie and A-Train. But it comes up again this season though, fortunately.
Yeah, it does.
This show also tries to make mother's milk more personal, but we'll get to that when we talk about the actual subplots in this season. So
I actually did like his character throughout these seasons quite a bit because he's kind of like the guy who's just trying to be a normal dude and just keeps getting dragged into this shit.
I mean, they all are technically.
Yeah, true.
Except Butcher.
Yeah, Butcher just kind of got obsessed.
For good reason, considering his whole life got ruined by Homelander.
Yep. Which I think they're kind of setting up a similar plot line with Hughie and A-Train.
But but A-Train not quite as evil as Homelander though.
No, well, almost nobody's as evil as Homelander.
Well, Soulja Boy does come close, but we get to that.
Yeah.
So the plot line, the main I would set up pictures, but I had time constraints because it takes a while for this thing to boot up. So the old machine boot up. So basically, the first main plot we carrying on from the previous season that the show tries to focus on is Huey versus Newman, Victoria Newman, who in the previous season was revealed to be the head popper.
Yep.
And
him realizing that he's been working for a super the entire time.
Not a super serial killer in story. Yeah. Then again, so is Homelander. So is a lot of them actually. But she's actually going out of the way to kill a lot of people.
Yeah.
But was working for a soup the whole time, and she's so now he has to break away and join the boys again. Now they kind of sidelined this subplot for this season. They started off with it, then they immediately dropped. They pushed the bag way back for season 4.
Yeah, and there's something to be said for that, of like kind of lengthening the plot lines a little bit and making you wait for a payoff, because like, you know, that way you have it kind of in the back of your mind, like what's going on with that. Kind of brings people back into it.
But, mean,
you know,
none of that plot
relationship between her and the head of the company there was pretty interesting.
We mean head of the company.
What was his name?
He never had the company. He's just the director guy. Wait. Yeah. Oh no. Oh wait, not no. Wait, no. You talking about Edgar, played by the guy from Better Call Saul?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he's in recent Fallout, the most recent Fallout game. Not Fallout. I mean, Far Cry. Sorry.
Yeah, and I really like his character in this one. He's your typical absolutely ruthless businessman, but he plays it in a really, really good way.
Yeah, he's a replacement for what's his name, Stillwell in the comics. But
yeah, and I think he makes a much better kind of corporate villain than the woman from the first season.
Yeah, this the show's version of Stillwell, because the Stillwell. Because Stillwell and it was basically a mommy figure to Homelander, and is also screwing him, was just weird. Yeah. But this is something else. This is an actual authoritative figure we actually take seriously.
Yep, at least at first.
So Stan Edgar. So and then we get the second plot line, which is Stan Edgar creates Temp V. Now this is the most important thing for this season. One of the most important aspects, temporary compound V.
Yep.
Which makes sense in story, because they'll be working on this, because they obviously don't want to have to deal with this retarded fake superhero bullcrap forever. And company has to constantly cover for them, like insurance.
Yeah.
Cover. Yeah. So we gotta so they had to so we gotta make this temp V so that the super soldiers are taken temporarily. Therefore, the military will have to keep paying the company for it, and they also keep the super under control, since obviously this fake superhero stuff can't happen if they don't have powers permanently.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to make a super soldier, why not make him temporarily a super soldier so you can control him?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and not have to constantly cover for him, getting in sex scandals, or him doing drugs or something.
Yep, and I feel like a lot of that, the motivation behind that, also has to do with Homelander.
Yeah, exactly.
In that he is not controllable. In that he goes along. They kind of smiles and nods and goes along with a lot of things, as long as
but that's because that's the easiest power he can attain.
Yeah,
I mean, Homelander does take over by the end of the season, by the end of the season. So,
yeah, and you know, by the time we get there, we kind of figure out why he wasn't in charge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, obviously, duh. Then we get and then throughout this season, Butch and Huey start taking Temp V and all that. Even the playing field against the heroes. But against the not really here the villains, but they pretend to be heroes.
Yeah.
But and then Frenchie and Mother's Milk think it's hypocritical, of course. That which is true, and then they have a debate over it.
And I think it's especially interesting where Butcher gets the Temp V from
Maeve.
Yeah, in that he's relying on a soup to get him what he needs to go after the seven.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
she actually is a very interesting character because she's kind of caught in the middle
Mm.
because she's been on the seven. She's complicit in so many of the horrible things that Homelander's done.
I mean, I know. I mean, otherwise, I mean, if she had a problem with, he would probably just kill her too. And then
Yeah,
replace
well,
her
that's
with
the thing is she's so deep in that she can't really leave because
Mm.
if half of that shit came out, she'd be done. And also, Homelander would just track her down and kill her.
Mm. Mm.
And that's one the consistent theme throughout this season is everybody else in the seven is absolutely terrified of Homelander.
Mm. I didn't. Okay.
And you get glimpses as to why.
Okay. And Butcher has to take Compound V on his quest to find the secret weapon that can kill Homelander. We'll get into that. Because but Ryan's still around. Now I don't like how they handle Ryan's character in the season.
Yeah.
Because Guys Dream as a plot device. Because it doesn't really make any sense when I think about it.
Yeah, and at the end, when we get to the end, pretty much everything the Butcher's been working towards just gets negated.
Yeah. But Ryan, okay, Ryan's still around, and of course Homelander, of course, wants his son back. So Butcher's been hiding Ryan away for the past year.
To me, is one of the greatest parts of Homelander's character. In that he's an absolutely ruthless bastard. He is a complete sociopath, and yet he still loves his kid, genuinely.
I mean, okay, but and then we get the whole A-Train trying to rebuild his image plotline that's set up in that set up in the first episode of this season. And me personally, I feel like this is the weakest plotline.
Yeah, I mean, A-Train, you can tell they're still trying to find reasons to keep him around because he is a fairly decent character, but it's just kind of they seem to just kind of be spinning their wheels with him.
Yeah, because he killed him. At the end of the season, he's back to where he was at the start of season 1. So
yeah, so he hasn't really grown at all. And they had the perfect opportunity at the end of season 1 to kill him off.
Yes, I mean, what made sense. He died from he took too much Compound V. He died from a heart attack.
Yeah, and that would have been a great way to end it. And also, you wouldn't have that constant threat to start. But I can see why they're keeping him around because he's a constant threat to Starlight.
Mm-hmm.
Because if he tells Homelander what she's been up to and he knows most of it, then she's done.
I mean, A-Train can just kill himself. I mean,
yeah, probably.
Yeah, so that's the thing.
But that's one of those I can see what they're building towards with that, but I think you could do it with a character other than A-Train.
Yeah, he probably could deal with a Deep or something.
Yeah, or one of the other heroes that's coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Because so many guys, so many replacements in the 7 just get murdered almost immediately.
I know.
What was the guy's name? Starlight's ex-boyfriend there that was in the
Supersonic. That's another plot line we get into. High Xenomorph. Okay. I will hit you. I'm gonna go there after the show ends. And then we get in the story arc. We all in the first episode. We also get this new subplot about that really can't go anywhere. About this guy called Soundwave. No, Shockwave. What was the Soundwave? What's it called?
I think it's Shockwave.
Shockwave. Sorry. Supersonic. Yeah, Supersonic.
Yeah, that's right.
Who's this guy who took Starlight's virginity in high school or something?
Yeah.
But anyways, he comes back. Huey gets what else should I say? Gets yours as usual because he's a manlet.
Yeah, I mean, he's not. I mean, even by human standards, he's not exactly the biggest, strongest dude out there.
Yeah. So I mean, then again, it's Jack Quaid. He only plays that one role in pretty much everything he's in. But I mean, he was in the Hunger Games movies. I think he played that pretty much the same role.
Yeah, he was.
but so 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 anyway. But so anyways, he gets introduced and he gets killed halfway through the season.
Yeah, he's only in like 4 or 5 episodes, and then they kill him off.
Yeah, yeah. So that's kind of yeah. He also apparently he used to be a boy band singer.
Yes, that's like the biggest thing we learned about him and his character is like he's Starlight's ex-boyfriend that used to be in a boy band.
Mhm, yeah, and he has sound, and he may have sound powers, but we never
We
get to see
never really
music
see
powers.
him use it.
I know because he gets killed, so
Yeah,
never
like, we
does
never
anything.
really see him even actually use his powers.
Mhm,
So he was kind of one of those like throwaway characters, almost like a red shirt in original
Mhm.
Star Trek, where it's just like, oh yeah, there's it's like this guy's here, and he's not going to live long.
Mm. And throughout this entire early part of the season, we get flashes of to talk about the history of the corporation.
Yep.
And the the former number one hero in the past, which was called Soldier Boy, who's basically an evil version of Captain America. Although a nice corny as Peacemaker is.
Mm. He's not really evil necessarily, just kind of an asshole.
No, he's pretty much pretty evil. I mean,
Well, I mean, we don't know that much about him even at the end of the season. We're just kind of guessing at most of it.
I can honestly tell he's evil though. So
yeah, I mean, he's obviously not a great dude, but the way they portray him is almost like, especially when you see him in the flashbacks, he seems more like a frat boy kind of a party dude than anything else.
Anyways, and then we learned Vought holds him up, this great hero who's like same way you think of somebody like Captain America, but obviously this is the boys, so he's not. He used to run this team called Payback. Just side note, the comic book Payback was an Avengers stand-in, but in this show it's just like an older superhero team.
It's kind of like a Bizarro World version of the Avengers and the Justice League.
Just like what's like 7 is. So
yeah.
But anyways, Payback with the Voss, an older superhero team before they formed the 7. And here's the thing, Payback, Black New York used to be on Payback.
Yes.
They learned about what you learn about as the season goes on. Black New York has a history with Soldier Boy. Black New York gets a lot of character development this season.
Yeah, which is interesting considering he never speaks.
I know. But you can do that with a silent character if done properly.
Yeah, and they do a fairly decent job of it here, where they're kind of telling around him rather than having him try to show what happened to him.
Learn from this Halo's TV show.
Yes, they did. Everyone should have learned from the Halo TV show.
Yeah.
Although I think season 3 of The Boys came out around the same time Halo was dropping, so
yeah.
These writers obviously were competent and just knew not to do that.
I know. I mean, how can you mess up a Halo show that bad? You don't need a lot of money for a Halo show and to do it right.
All you need to do is have a guy in a Mjolnir armor absolutely wrecking aliens.
Exactly.
We saw that in I think like 1 5-minute battle scene in the middle of the season, and like once again towards the end.
Yeah, he doesn't even have to look spectacular. Just give him regular guns. I mean,
yeah. It's not even like Star Wars where they have lightsabers and blasters going everywhere. It's literally an assault rifle. An assault rifle and a combat knife is like what Master Chief is known for.
I know, and he has a bullet count on it. That's it.
Yeah, and it's just like, how do you fuck that up? And yet, Paramount.
Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, I know. But anyways, back to this show. Now the plot, the whole plot line with what the main plot line of the season is the Soldier Boy stuff. It's Soldier Boy stuff as Butcher, as the boys go after Payback, after the old members of Payback, we get and then Butcher in episode 2, Butcher had to take on Gunpowder, had this encounter soup called gunpowder, which I didn't know. I don't even understand how I see a soup because
Yeah, it's just really he's just really really good with guns.
but
Just his
how's
only
that?
power.
What makes no sense to me because okay, he's apparently into compound V, but how's that give you? How's that? First of all, he can get any powers. I mean, how's being good with guns a power? Any regular dude can get that good with guns with enough training as a kid.
Yeah, like that I never really understood him being a compound one of the compound V guys. It's just like okay.
He doesn't sound. He's literally just a regular dude with guns who's just good at guns. Any regular dude could get that good guns if they train him enough as a kid.
Yeah, and you can tell they're trying to make him into somebody like Deadshot or somebody like that, but it just doesn't work.
Yeah, because that's not a soup. That's just a regular guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you're not. You might not be that good. You go with guns. I mean, you used to be in the military.
Yeah.
But I mean, for a fact any regular dude could probably get that good with guns if they just train enough.
No, yeah, you give a person enough time and enough training, and they'll be absolutely top tier.
like how's that?
And yeah, some of the shit he does is kind of unrealistic, where he's bouncing bullets off of stuff in a predictable pattern because that's just not a thing.
But that's not too much of a stretch though.
Yeah, I mean it's a little bit of a stretch because comic book stuff, but which you're willing to hand wave that a lot of ways. But that doesn't make him a soup.
I know because I know it's like Deadshot, like what's his name? Bullseye is not a soup. Like
yeah, and neither's Deadshot. He's just a really good marksman.
Exactly. But Bullseye, Daredevil, he's not a soup. Like.
Now, I could see if they wanted to make him into something more like Cyborg or something like that, where like the guns are part of him.
Yeah, that would make sense.
We're talking.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's not the way they went with it, and it's just a guy who has a lot of guns and is really good with them.
Okay, so okay.
If that counts as a soup, I'm guessing like half of Appalachia counts too.
And not only that, but how could they tell he was soup when he was a baby? Keep in mind, these people are injected when they're babies. So how could they tell he was a soup when he was injected compound V? Because if you never watched The Boys Diabolical anthology cartoons where he did like the animatrix with the boys.
Yep. I haven't gone through that yet. I'll need to.
Apparently there's a whole place where they put the kids who got bad powers from. Where they put the kids who got bad powers. And who the parents didn't want them anymore.
Like the failed experiment, yeah.
Yeah. So why is he there? Because like I said, again, how could they even tell he was a soup to begin with?
Yeah, I just don't get his character
as a baby. As a baby, how can you even tell he's a soup?
Yeah, like his powers wouldn't manifest until he's old enough to hold a gun.
Exactly.
So it's just like, okay.
Okay, but anyway, that's kind of modern. I can easily imagine he was just a regular kid who got picked up by Soldier Boy. I mean, that's how
that could be too.
Bucky,
it may be that he wasn't actually a compound B guy. Because Soldier Boy was the first, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, Soldier Boy is the first soup in this universe. I mean, the first one they actually made intentionally after Stormfront.
Yeah, and Stormfront, I don't even think they really knew about.
Yeah, nobody knew about her at the time, but she's the first. He was the first actual when they intentionally trying to make a soup. The Stormfront, they was trying to give somebody powers, but they wasn't intending to market to her or nothing. Soldier Boy was the first time they actually made somebody who they intended to market. Yeah,
like this is the thing that is unique to the boys when it comes to soups is they're not like a random occurrence. Like even though they try to tell everybody they are,
they're not like
in season 1.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's like in X-Men or My Hero Academia or something.
Yeah, like these are not natural occurrences. Like this, these kids were volunteered.
But anyways, anyways, by the way, I actually love the fight scene between Butcher and Gunpowder in the episode though.
Yeah, that was an interesting fight where it's a bit more cat and mouse than just two superheroes going at each other. It was much more like, okay, where is he?
And then Butcher took Timothy for the first time and killed Gunpowder in a brutal manner, which I
which The Boys is famous for. Like the executions in that are just gory and brutal as hell.
And also we had Frenchie and Kimiko went to take on the Crimson Comet, who's a Scarlet Witch stand-in, but
Yeah.
she's dating. Yeah, I mean, but she's not evil so much. She's not really evil. Like,
She's just kind of washed up.
not to mention having an evil Scarlet Witch would be redundant since Scarlet Witch did start off as a villain in Marvel Comics anyway.
Pretty much.
If you don't know, both Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver were villains when introduced.
Mm-hmm. And if you ask the MCU, she's a villain again. That was one of my biggest pet peeves with that whole movie was they kept trying to make her relatable. It's just like, she's the bad guy. Stop it.
Yeah, so I didn't see Doctor Strange too, because it didn't seem like it's going to be about Doctor Strange anyway.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was not worth the time.
Yeah. I mean, I want to see a Doctor Strange sequel. I don't want to see that's the thing with the MCU now. This is going to be a tangent, but let's I'm going to go on with this. That's the thing with the MCU now. They're not really focusing on superheroes having their own story anymore. Like, they're not
it's all the ensemble cast that they can put together because they're down to some of the characters that nobody really cares about.
Yeah, no. Here's the thing, though. There's enough to make a couple movies with Doctor Strange. There's enough material there.
Yeah, you could do a bunch of movies with just Doctor Strange
and his characters, but you intentionally choose not to. And they intentionally ignoring plot setups they set up in previous movies. Like
and especially when you're included, one of the inclusions in the movie is a character that failed.
Like, America
Chavez's run lasted 10 issues.
I know.
Nobody cares about this character.
I know, and they brought it back recently. But and retcon all that stuff that Gabby Rivera did.
Yeah, that whole thing was just dumb.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, the boys does at least. I will say at least the characters are much better than your typical superhero thing at this point.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but yeah. So the boy. And anyways, Crimson Comet. Anyways, Crimson Comet is washed up. It's like old Madonna now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like she's a singer. She used to be good pop back in the day, but nowadays nobody cares.
Yeah, she's like in her late 50s. She's kind of hit the wall and just kind of does what she's almost like a Vegas singer now, where like her career is over. She's just kind of waiting for it to finally end.
Anyway, and during that scene, Crimson Comet accidentally kills civilian, and that causes Kimiko the C2 scarred children, and then have self-reflection on that. Which leads to another plot line for the show, which is Frenchie Kimiko wanted to get rid of her powers, and Frenchie having helped her through with it. Which now I'm fine with some parts of that storyline. Some parts seem kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean that plot line was at least fairly straightforward, and she's an interesting character in that, like, in that she's a very normal person who just wants to live a normal life, and Butcher keeps putting her in situations where she has to hurt people.
Yeah. I love Kimiko's character in the show. I mean, she's what Cassandra Cain should be.
Yeah.
If you don't know, that's how Cassandra Cain normally is in comics, except she don't have the powers.
Yeah.
But because if you've seen the Harley Quinn movie, they got the wrong complete change character entirely.
Yeah, the less said about that movie, the better.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so but yeah.
But no, that plot line was pretty interesting, and that kind of ties back into the Soldier Boy quest, essentially.
Yeah, and Soldier Boy quest, they find Soldier Boy in Russia. After learning from what's the government agent lady name?
Grace something.
Grace. After learning about her story with encounter with Soldier Boy in the 80s, in the early 80s, from sometime in the 80s from Grace. And she talks about payback. And there's always some feminist BS stuff here, like and at least from her side of the story, that's not really the most important thing. The most important thing we learned from that flashback was that Black New York used to be on payback,
and also why he doesn't speak anymore.
Yeah, he was injured in the fight, but we get to that later. We'll get to that later. Also, Edgar always used to work for Vought, apparently.
Yep.
Even back when he was young. Was Black New York like a teenager at that time?
I think he was like in his probably 20s. So like a young guy starting out at the company.
Okay.
And he was kind of Payback's almost manager, if you want to say.
No, I'm talking about Black New York.
Oh, Black Noir he was fairly young. I'd say 20s.
Yeah. I thought like 19 or something at the cat at the point.
Yeah, he's pretty young. I'd say like late teens to early 20s.
Yeah. And and there's also a lot of weird characters here, like the Dynamite Twins, who are like a Wonder Twins group character.
Yep.
And also Mindstorm, we see much of.
Yeah, they mention it and then never see it.
No, we do see Mindstorm. We do see Mindstorm in the flashback, but he barely says anything. He barely gets any screen time online.
Yeah, he's just kind of there. Like he never really even does anything.
But he does something in one episode, but that's just one episode. He doesn't even appear in the episode that much. Just does something.
Yeah, he's definitely the background character of the group. Which is kind of how Black Noir was in the 7 for a long time, where he's just kind of hanging out in the back, not really doing anything.
Butcher, the boys all go to Russia. The boys all go to Russia to fight, and they break into some place. Before that, they sent Kimiko to kill some guy. Some Russian mafia guy. I don't know. I didn't really care who that guy even was.
The plot doesn't even really care who that guy was. He was just a means to an end.
I know. I don't even understand what that fat guy even was. He's just having sex slaves. I don't know. I don't care.
Some Russian oligarch or mobster or something or other. Like some Russian guy no one gives a shit about.
Yeah.
Which is good because he's not there long.
That goes to another problem to show later with the whole Russian mob thing. Meanwhile, we get this okay, they break into some place held by the Russian government to find Soldier Boy. Who's on ice at this time.
Yep.
And they fight, and he's developed a new superpower, which he shoots a orange beam of lights from his body.
Yeah, because that wasn't a thing before.
Yeah, that wasn't a thing before. He got experimented on my Compound V by the Russians. Which begs the question as to why, but that actually raised some plot holes that I hope get resolved in this next season.
Yeah, because they don't really go into what was done to him.
Apparently, exactly. But he has a new power, which is a giant beam from he's like Havoc from X-Men.
Yeah.
No, Havoc is a guy shoots the laser from his chest.
Yeah, he's kind of a cross between Havoc and Cyclops in a lot of ways because you can't control it.
But he kind of can control most of the time.
Yeah.
Anyways, he turns out, and Kimiko gets hit by it. Turns out he has the power to remove the powers of soups.
Yeah, which was an interesting thing, which I think is going to be important. I think that's one of those things that like they show it and just kind of move it away. Like, remember this. This will be important later.
I mean, by the way, but during some people have problems with this, but during the portions was just hunting down Payback. They can try and interrogate Payback. Both events, two parodies of both political extremes on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Was I mean, you had Gunpowder, who's a Texan Texan gun rally
Yeah, like
guy.
super pro Second Amendment, like uber
All,
conservative type of
yeah,
thing.
yeah, I know. And then we had Crimson Comet, and she's at some kind of place called, I forgot what it was called. It had rainbow woke sound woke no, I don't know. It was funny how it was, but
And I will at least give them credit for making fun of both sides.
Yeah, like they had it was ridiculous. Like I forgot what they called the rides.
Oh yeah, the BLM stuff, and they try to go into that with A Train a little bit here too.
No, and it had the gay kind of gay LGBT what
all the pride stuff. Yeah, it's just like okay.
It looked ridiculous on purpose.
Yeah, and I think that was kind of the point, is just to kind of show you just like this is over the top, like this is idiotic. In the same way they did with Gunpowder, and like the speech he was given when Butcher finds him, it's just like okay.
Yeah. So
which as long as you're making fun of both sides, I'm happy with it. Like whatever.
Yeah. This is but the by the way, the whole A Train plot, we have him trying to reinvent himself as a black symbol, even though he really doesn't care, because it's A Train. Remember, it's A Train. He doesn't really give a damn.
Yeah, and I love when he like changes his costume, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, it looks great," and just like everyone's just like, "Are you kidding?" He looks like an idiot.
Exactly. I mean, he tried to have some kind of A Train to Africa commercial way,
and it's done in like, and this is kind of like, I kind of got it, a sense of like it's almost making fun of the woke bullshit and like all these celebrities who like
because the companies don't really give a damn. They just virtual signal.
Exactly, and it's done in like his whole rebranding thing is done like the most corporate and soulless way possible, which I thought was actually pretty well done to show just how corporate and soulless all of this shit is.
Like
and A-Train himself really is just like, he doesn't stand for anything.
I mean, I know no one cares about being popular.
That's the only thing he gives a shit about. Is he's actually kind of like Homelander in that way, where like all he cares about is the fans and the fact that he has them.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't. I mean, he cares about his brother. That's what we learned this season.
That's about the only redeeming quality he has.
Exactly.
He loves his family.
He cares about that. Yeah, that's the only redeeming quality he has. I know.
And you do get a little bit of relationship between him and his brother in season 1. Where his brother just basically, once he finds out he's just been, mainlining Compound V to kind of try to get better, he's just kind of like, you know what, I'm done. Because you kind of get the feeling that they've been a team for a long time. Like he's A-Train's trainer.
Also, wait. Here's the most important thing we learned in the season, that apparently A-Train can't use his powers anymore, because if he tries to run again, it's hard to give out because he used too much Compound V and messed it all up.
Yeah, so he's like not really a soup anymore, because if he uses his powers, he's toast. But he still tries to be like a public brand, and still tries to brand himself like the old A-Train. It's just like,
I know. Yeah, it's clear you out. You could quit the team.
Yeah, it's clear. And Homelander even makes comments about it too.
I mean, he's gaining weight because he's not running anymore, because he can't.
Yeah, and like Homelander comments about it too. Just basically calls him a fat piece of shit a couple of times.
Yeah.
And kind of tries to like really make him feel bad about it, which
but it's Homelander because he's a bully, because he's basically a bully with superpowers.
But at the same time, like, he does have a valid point of like, if you're not going to be a superhero, what the hell are you even doing here? Which is a valid question.
Although that kind of then again, there's also but that storyline gets introduced this character called Blue Hawk, who I say his lines were written before the rise. He put the pen to the paper.
Yeah,
because because he's just a stereotypical race police officer with superpowers. That's what he is.
I mean, like
that's what he is even in
dialogue and shit
story.
could have been written straight out of BLM's handbook, just like
No, I mean that's what he is in story. I mean, I didn't
Yeah.
like Blue Hawk character. at all. He's clearly a strong man villain. Like,
no, he is like so clearly a stereotype and like,
but that's
a
it.
strong man for the story for the plot to go after.
No, it's a strong man. Yeah, he's a writer's political strong man.
I mean, it's just like it's so, you know, there's ways to do that are actually intelligent and might have a point behind it. The way they did it in this show is it's just blatantly obvious, and they're just smacking you over the head with it. Like pretty much as soon as this guy opens his mouth, it's just like, yeah, okay, we get what you're trying to do here.
Yeah, I mean, I always go back to Jessica Jones and this stupid writing with that because because I always rag on how the Purple Man clearly is not a character.
No, he's not.
That like because when you think about it, it really makes no sense. Like really makes no sense when for a real person to have that kind of godlike powers and him not to try to control anything more.
Yeah. I think we might be having some audio issues here. But yeah, I mean, this season, like, you can tell, like, they try to be funny with it or try to, like, do a lot of things with this, but you can tell a lot of it is Amazon corporate having a lot of influence here. And not in a good way, unfortunately. Kind of like the Rings of Power, which less said about that show, the better. Ever again.
Okay, I'm back.
All right. Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, but yeah, so yeah. So this is that. This is not really a character goal, but I didn't bother watching Rings of Power. I still ain't bother watching it.
No, I wouldn't bother. I watched the first like 2 episodes and it just made me angry.
I mean, just the fact you have a female dwarf who doesn't have a beard, pretty much made that very clear. You don't care.
And the funny thing is, everyone, like, all the articles were like, "Oh yeah, they don't like it because there's a black dwarf," and it's like, and when the actual reviewers started, whether it be Gary or Arkasul or whoever, they were just like, "Yeah, she's like the only thing in the show we don't have a problem with."
No. The thing is, she don't have a beard.
Well, yeah, but like, you know, and as far as her character goes and stuff like that, she was one of the most likable things about that show.
Yeah, but that's the main thing. She don't have a beard.
Which Tolkien has repeatedly stated that's a thing.
Yeah, like where's the beard? Like that's the first thing I thought.
Yeah, it would be like putting a male dwarf in there with no beard, just like what?
What? This be like giving. This be like giving the elf a beard.
Oh, okay, we believe you.
Yeah, like this, like he's like giving the elf a beard. Like what? That's supposed to have face hair,
which they did a lot.
Oh yeah. So I'm not even bothering that shit.
Waste your time.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, the boys, like, there are certain characters like Blue Hawk that it's just like you can tell they're in the show for one reason and one reason alone.
Yeah, but yeah, Fortune doesn't survive another season. I mean, here's the thing: Stormfront was done much better than Blue Hawk was.
Yeah, they gave her a very reasonable motivation and a reason to be in the show.
Yeah. No, because she's kind of the same character arc, but that's Blue Hawk, but much better.
Yeah, and you know, she has a purpose to be in the show. Like she's kind of Homelander's love interest for a while.
No, yeah.
Whereas, you know, Blue Hawk, it's just like he's literally exists for the exact purpose that they put him in there for, and that's it.
Yeah.
You can tell once that story arc's over, they're never going to use him again. He's
dead already in the season. Well, yeah. Good thing. Good riddance.
Yeah, that's when I was like, okay, no one cared about you anyway. Bye.
Yeah. And in this and no, okay, and what the whole Butch and what the whole did we get the whole plot line about when Kimiko loses her powers and she's happy now.
So now she never wanted her powers.
Yeah, she was given those powers in a laboratory experiment by Compound V.
As an adult too, I believe.
As an adult, yeah. Actually, she already grown up.
And the whole thing with her and her brother was interesting. He
killed him way too fast.
Yeah, I think they should have kept him around for another couple of episodes and like done a lot more with that character because he's kind of there for like what I think 3 episodes and then he's gone.
No, one episode.
I thought he was in two or
No, he's
three.
in 2 episodes. Yeah, he was just introduced. He was just still episode 2, and he died episode 3.
Okay, yeah, so yeah, he's there and he's gone, which is a problem with this show. They do that a lot with characters that they really shouldn't,
Yeah.
and they don't do it with characters that they really should.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
A-Train
Yeah.
should be gone by now. His
Yeah.
story's kind of run its course, and they're just kind of spinning their wheels with him.
Yeah.
Like he can't even use his powers anymore, so it's just like okay,
Yeah.
why are you here?
Yeah. So but I forgot to mention the deep, and the deep is he's still with that woman from the previous season. What's her name?
I don't even remember. She's not really even an important character.
Yeah, I know. She's the smarter one, of the two in a relationship because the deep's an idiot.
Yeah, he's just kind of along for the ride. He's just goes with what he basically does. What whoever's in charge of him says.
I mean, what else can he do? I mean, he's got stupid fish, super Aquaman powers, but
yeah, and he's there to be a parody of Aquaman.
No, but he's dumb and he's a pervert.
Yeah, like he's a shitty parody of Aquaman. Essentially.
Well, not if he was going to be a parody of Aquaman, his personality would be more like he is a parody of Aquaman, but a more accurate parody will be more like he act more like Soldier Boy. But
yeah, but like in terms of like his powers and like how useful he is most of the time, it's just kind of like
I know yeah, useful most of the time.
Fish.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, that's not useful outside of water. So
yeah, and I don't think any of most of this is taking place anywhere near water until very late in this season.
Exactly. And even then,
he only kills somebody in the pool. Do anything remotely useful.
Even then, he only kills somebody in the pool. So
yeah,
yeah. so that yeah. But anyways, he's an idiot. He's a pervert, and apparently the Homelander puts him in charge of the what's the surveillance unit. He fires everybody.
Oh yeah, like the basically the intelligence department essentially.
Yeah, but I don't know.
I forget what the actual name of it is.
Yeah, but I know, but he's one. That's one of the dumbest decisions ever you ever possibly make. By the way, since Deep obviously can't run that the investigation department by himself.
Well, obviously
he's not even smart enough.
And that is kind of a take. It's kind of a dig at some of this corporate culture where as long as you're in with the boss, in this case Homelander, you can get put in a position where you absolutely have no business being. Because as long as you kiss the boss's ass, you too can get promoted.
Like what? Like
it's just like, why are you in charge of the intel department? Like that's not your thing. Like you could see Black Noir doing it, or a character like that, but the Deep, really?
Like
the guy who's an absolute moron and manages to screw up almost everything he does.
Yeah, he fired everybody. It was that's the dumbest decision you can ever make since everyone's confidence is gone. But
pretty much, at least everyone in that department. But it was just like, oh my god, it was the cringiest thing ever on purpose.
On purpose, yeah.
Yeah, but I did find that rather amusing. We're just like, oh my god, like it really is the modern corporate culture where it's just like, yeah, it doesn't matter if you're actually good at it. It just matters who you know.
So now the Soldier Boy plot. Now that's the main plot this season. Oh, I forgot the Starlight stuff. Starlight stuff is the Starlight stuff is apparently we got this random flashback by her when she was a little kid. For some reason I didn't get why that was in this plot.
I think it's just kind of character development of where she came from, and
But we already knew that though.
Yeah, we didn't really need it because we've heard it.
I mean, yeah. I mean, we heard her and her mama talk about this in the first season. So
yeah, so like it was there. I mean, I guess it's there for the people who didn't get it the first time, but I really don't like when shows do that when they like repeat themselves for that.
Yeah,
it's just kind of like, oh, okay.
Okay, and but the Starlight plot is okay. She gets held up by Homelander, lies about being in a relationship with her and then when she Supersonic plot against Homelander, he killed Supersonic after Supersonic didn't know A-Train was corrupt, so he told
Yeah, and
A-Train.
he mouthed off to A-Train, and yeah.
Yeah. So. Mm,
And
mm.
Homelander just did Homelander things.
Homelander. The thing that makes Homelander great is that I really thought about this before. Homelander's was probably what Syndrome from the Incredibles would have been had he actually won at the end.
Yeah, and Homelander too. Like I love the scenes that he has with other characters
Mhm.
because they've all seen him like just absolutely murder people, even other soups, and like there is this inherent fear around him. And that even when he's acting like completely normal, they know like in any second if they say the wrong thing, they're dead, and there's just nothing they can do to stop it. Which I think is hilarious because like he almost like you can tell he's amused by it,
Mm.
where he's just like, "Yeah, I know,"
Mm.
and he
Yeah,
plays it up.
yeah. Because let's say a lot of times when I watch the show, I think Homelander is what Syndrome from the Incredibles would be had he won at the end.
Yeah,
Remember the Incredible Syndrome?
yeah, I vaguely remember the character, and yeah, he is kind of similar.
Yeah.
But he's just great in his generally being an asshole,
Mm.
even in like normal things. Like he goes out on a save, like this girl's about to jump off a bridge or whatever.
Oh,
He gets like
they did the reversal of the All-Star Superman scene where Superman talks girl out committing suicide.
yeah, and like
Homeland does the opposite. He pushes off the cliff, off
yeah,
the
like
building.
or he like tries to get her to do it. Like he's initially gonna save her, and then like he gets some kind of news.
Stormfront died. Somebody.
Oh yeah.
Killed herself.
And like after and like immediately switches gears to like trying to get her to jump, and then when she won't, he fucking throws her.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, oh wow, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you can, which that was a great scene for him.
Yeah. Also, Homeland is starting to have become more public with him being an asshole. That's a major story arc through this season.
Yep, and that leads to the ending scene.
Yeah.
Because it's like he kept a pretty tight lid on just how bad he was for a long time.
Up until the season.
Yeah, the company had really covered for him in a lot of ways, and so did the rest of the seven, because like Maeve and all that, they know what he's done. Some of them have even been there for it, like the scene in the plane from season 1.
Yeah. Queen Maeve was horrified by it, but although A-Train and Deep don't really care because they also assholes too, so they don't really care.
Yeah, and they don't. The only thing they care about is their own image, so they don't really.
Yes, yeah, and Translucent, like all of them, they didn't really care. They're all assholes too, so they.
Whereas Maeve was just kind of going along with it for the most part, and now she's in the middle of it and she can't get out. Which I kind of I like her character in a lot of ways, and in some ways I'm like, I don't know where they're going with it.
Yeah, but I think she's out for the rest of the show. But at least I hope she is.
Yeah, I mean, I can see her being a plot point between Butcher and Homelander.
But
in the continuing war between Butcher and Homelander.
By the way, I didn't like this scene. This made no sense for me. But Butcher and Queen Maeve had sex, which I didn't understand.
It's kind of leaning into the Butcher being a hypocrite.
Yeah, exactly. Because this seems like something. Yeah, this seems like something Huey would do, not Butcher.
Yeah, it would seem something, and that would have been an interesting point of drama. If like him and Maeve hook up somehow or whatever, and then Starlight walks in on it. Especially considering that she's been helping them quite a bit.
Yeah, but no, yeah, but this seemed odd. That seemed our character for Butcher because his entire stick is they hate soups. Like, I mean,
yeah, and yet it's fun in a way that he is kind of being hypocritical, and especially by taking the Temp V and stuff like that, and you can see it kind of get to him.
Yeah,
and you can, and I love how Karl Urban plays him too, in that like he does give off that air of he knows he shouldn't be doing it, and he feels bad about it, but he's doing it anyway. because Butcher throughout the whole show is very much an ends justify the means kind of guy. In that, like, yeah, I might have to become the thing I hate to destroy it, but I'm going
to. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he got mad. He got mad when when he didn't get a chance to kill Termite because Termite walked again. You know, there's a character in the show called Termite who's Ant-Man, but he's gay and accidentally kills a guy by being inside of him.
Yep. Which that was an interesting scene.
Yeah, but Termite doesn't mean anything though. Just another example of a messed up suit.
Yeah, Soup's doing things to normal people that then they never get punished for
it. Yeah. So he just walked anyway. So because he got a brand license with a pesticide company.
I think so. Yeah.
So and then when you finally meet Soldier Boy again, he comes to America He's shocked by the modern world, modern day New York. Blows up.
Yeah, blows up a couple of city blocks.
And then we got this whole plot about them meeting this of the boys meeting this character. This called the Legend, who's I think it's Stan Lee stand-in.
Kinda, yeah. Where he's kind of like the PR guy behind it all, or at least was at one point at its height.
Yeah, it was back in the day.
He kind of like comes off like a Hollywood producer that's stuck in the 80s. Where he's a complete dirtbag and everyone knows it.
It's kind of just this dirty old man who kind of exists.
Still does drugs by the ton. Still wearing a velvet suit like it's the 70s. But like, he's very much the caricature of, like, you know, your typical scumbag Hollywood producer.
Yeah, although he's really evil and then just kind of.
No, he's just kind of a dirtbag.
Yeah. So anyway, they learned about Soldier Boy came to get his costume from him, so get suit back. Which I guess they just hung on to his suit because reasons. Yeah, Soldier Boy came to get his suit back, and then he encounters what's up Crimson Comet again, who's apparently a e-girl. Seth Rogen's in the show, jacking off. Yeah, that was actually funny.
That was actually pretty funny because Seth Rogen kind of, you know, taking a shot on himself.
So Seth, that's still it's Seth Rogen, but just I mean, honestly, I really don't like Seth Rogen as a person.
No, he's kind of a jackass, but at least he's willing to make fun of himself, so I'll at least give him credit where it's due.
Yeah. So it turns out the boys actually Mother's Milk has a thing with Soldier Boy. Apparently, Soldier Boy killed Mother's Milk whole family.
Yep. Was his whole family or just his father?
It was just his dad. It was his whole family actually when he was a kid.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yep. And he like tries to stay out of it, and he like tries to ignore it for a long time, and he just has like a breakdown essentially.
Yeah, because he gets pissed off, understandably, when the boys decide to team up with the Huey and Butcher decide to team up with Soldier Boy. That's the biggest turning point in the show that actually shocked me too. Like what? Like they're coming to kill Soldier Boy. I don't know why I took Tim V there, because Tim V there. Why are you taking the Tim V before encountering him? You're not trying to kill Soldier Boy. You're trying to team up with him. Why are you taking the Tim V?
Yeah, like why are you taking Tim V to get his help?
Yeah.
Maybe I could see maybe if he gets out of control, they want a backup plan in case shit goes sideways. Because you know it's the boys. Shit always goes sideways.
Yeah, but you're going to team up with him. So why even take it down? Why even taking Tim V? You shouldn't take Tim V after.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably just shoot it immediately if anything goes sideways.
Yeah, I think they're trying to lean into like Butcher, especially, is becoming addicted to it. Or at the very least addicted to the power it gives him.
Muscle Huey with that.
Yeah, I think Huey a little bit more, but Butcher has taken it more.
Yeah,
so it's starting to affect him too.
Yeah, so now the team with Soldier Boy, he kills Crimson Comet with that cannon thing. Because we got the cannon thing they got that can destroy soups, any soup.
Yep.
Doesn't matter who he is. So he can actually kill Homelander. That's the whole plot of the show. He is the secret weapon to kill Homelander.
Yeah, he is, the only thing that can even probably, and they're not even sure he can kill Homelander.
He probably, he can most definitely with the kind of power he has.
Well, they found out that he can kill normal soups, but Homelander's not normal.
That ain't for a soup. But
no, not even for a soup. So like they're pretty sure they can hurt Homelander with it, but they're not entirely sure.
But then again, we learn later on that they can. And not only that, but he also killed a whole boatloads of normal soups, which even Homelander probably couldn't do at once.
Yeah. So he can take out like entire teams at once if he wants to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So and then the best episode this season is obviously Herogasm, which was everything. It almost felt like the season finale when I watched it, but it's not.
Yeah, I feel like that would have been a good endpoint for the season if they'd, because that's what, episode 7?
6. Everything built up to that.
So like if you'd given them another couple episodes in the middle there, I think that would have been actually a good season finale.
Yeah.
Actually,
that was amazing
than the one we got.
Yeah, that was amazing. That actually blew me away and watch Herogasm. Like, whoa, like they actually did, because they resolved most of the plot lines. Like,
yeah, that was the thing. They were tying up subplots. The things were all kind of meshing together.
We get
running back into the main plot line, because there were some subplots where you're just kind of like, okay, well, that's interesting, but why is it happening now?
Like,
and then they kind of tie it all back in,
and
it all kind of comes to a head. But then they have like 2 episodes after.
Yeah, because in that Herogasm episode, Blue Hawk's at the soup orgy called Herogasm. That apparently in this version, Soldier Boy found it, but but Blue Hawk was there. He gets killed by A-Train finally. We get also Herogasm. The deep. This feels funny. It's just hilarious. The Deep had sex with Octopus. He finally gave in to his urges and engaged in bestiality.
Yeah, that was rather amusing, actually.
Yeah, he finally did. Because we joked about it throughout the entire show, but we didn't actually get to see it.
And then Homelander makes him eat it.
No, earlier, before that.
That's right.
Yeah, the Octopus. But he finally gave in to urges to bestiality, urges to have sex with Octopus. Like he wanted the tentacle hentai.
Yeah. That was one of those just like, it's so disturbing and yet it's fucking hilarious.
It's especially another thing. It's funnier later when he trying his girlfriend to have sex with the octopus too.
Yeah. Oh man, the Deep kind of turns into comedy relief at certain points.
Yes, I mean he's an idiot with Aquaman's power, so.
Yeah, so he's like the butt of the jokes, basically. Herogasm would have actually been a good endpoint for the show.
Yeah, for the season.
Well, yeah, for the season, and
in this episode, Mother's Milk has another encounter. Has his first action encounter with Soldier Boy because he was knocked out previously.
Yep.
He originally came in to kill Butcher because of lying to him.
Yep.
Of course, he tried to use nerve gas on knockout gas on Soldier Boy. It didn't work.
Yeah, that was not the best plan he's ever had.
Yeah, because he got super restraint. He's too strong. How the nerve gas ain't strong enough. That nerve gas wasn't strong enough. The knockout gas was strong enough. They need to actually use nerve gas. Come to find out.
Yeah, it's just like, okay.
Yeah, you need to actually use nerve gas to knock him out. And then still won't kill him.
Yeah, it'll just make him. It'll just knock him out for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean that was an interesting encounter.
Now one thing this show does, and I felt like this show did wrong, was the whole keeping Little Nina alive thing, having her get away during that part in which it was Kimiko and what's that French chick name? Russian chick? I don't even know.
Oh,
Little Nina had them held up, had Frenchie, Kimiko, and what's her name held up?
Yeah, I know. Not his other girlfriend there.
That's the thing. She don't even need to be in the show. I mean, I honestly forgot she existed at certain points.
Yeah, and she hasn't been in the show for like almost an entire season at a time, and then she just pops up every now and again.
Oh, yeah.
And
I
then,
mean,
I'd almost entirely forgotten about her.
Same here. I was like, wait, who are you again? Oh, that's the chick who was in season 1. I forgot.
It's like, yeah. It's like you're the chick from the beginning. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why she's even in the show. I mean, she's not even from the comic, or she don't like what.
Yeah, so she's just kind of a plot device to get Frenchie to do certain things.
But Frenchie choose. But from what all this perspective, it's not really a choice. I mean, of course, you're going to choose Kimiko. I mean, she's actually important.
So, like, that whole thing with Little Nina, I don't really. Yeah.
No. The thing is, okay, Kimiko still kills most of the mobsters are holding her back as usual. So
yeah,
didn't even mean anything. Gruesomely too, like smashing his face in.
Yep.
Oh. But Little Nina gets away. That's the thing I'm confused by. Why would you have her get away? Because I'm so not interested in this Little Nina plotline.
Yeah, it's just like she was interesting to get them as a plot device to like give them the info on Russia and stuff like that. But like after that, why is she still here?
I mean, you're going to have a plotline continue for another season. Okay, I gotta explain this first. Okay, well, if you're going to have this plotline continue for another season, you better connect her to the Supes, because this whole Russian mobster plotline isn't going to be interesting in of itself, since that's not what The Boys is about. It's about trying to kill these evil superheroes.
Yeah, and so, like maybe she'll be a kind of an asset later on.
Or maybe have her work with the evil Supes, like maybe have her work with Victoria Newman, or have her work with work with Edgar or something. That'll be much better.
Or maybe that she was part of the research team that was experimenting on Soldier Boy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and that kind of being an interesting thing, but but as it just sits right now, it's like why is she still alive?
Yeah, because he's gonna have to
killed her off right there.
Yeah,
and tied that plot line up. Just
yeah, but the scene where the scene which and we get a fight scene in between Homeland and Soldier Boy. And here, guys, man, and the fight team is done pretty well. I mean, Huey, who's staying Compound V now. Huey teleports around now while Temp V.
Yep.
Soldier Boy has laser eyes. They both have super strength. So,
yeah, it's a pretty good fight scene, and I do love the fact that they added the detail in that Huey doesn't just teleport. Only he
teleports naked. Only he doesn't teleport with his clothes.
Yeah, so he just shows up bare ass naked.
Mm.
So it's kind of like a more horrific version of Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler he can take other things that's touching him with him. They just lose people. But
yeah, but it's just like a naked version of Nightcrawler.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, so not only does he appear out of nowhere, he appears out of nowhere in his birthday suit.
Yeah,
which just makes that so much worse.
But
it's just like, oh, you're here. Why? Oh God, put some clothes on.
they both fight they both fight Homelander, and Soldier Boy almost kills
Yep.
Homelander,
which is the first time we've seen Homelander even struggle.
Mhm.
Like even against other supes, he's just fucking overpowered.
Mhm. And Homelander runs away for the first time ever, flies away.
Yeah, that was the first time you ever see Homelander go run away from a fight.
Mhm.
Because before, like up till now, he's been like kind of the Darth Vader character of like once he shows up, yeah, you're fucked. But now it's like we actually saw Homelander get beat essentially,
Mhm.
and that he was the one running away.
Yeah, he also got injured in his face for the first time, which
it's the first time we've ever seen him bleed.
Yeah. But the most and then we get the episode 7. I liked episode 7.
Yeah, that one was pretty good.
Episode 7. I mean, we learned the whole plot is that Soldier Boy is trying to find Mindstorm, and we learn more about Butcher's past. And we also learn more about Black Noir's past because he's talking to cartoon characters that come to life. That come to life out of his head.
Yeah.
Black Noir. Yeah. Why is it back? Because he had ran away earlier. Disappeared because Soldier Boy's back.
Yeah.
So apparently, and in the cartoon flashbacks, we learned that Soldier Boy used to treat his entire team like crap.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not surprising. He's pretty much just like the proto Homelander.
Yeah, it's like that was, not the biggest shock in the world that he's basically Homelander, but not quite as horrible.
Yeah, but that's because he's more in control. He's more in control of himself when he's outside. So that's for public image because he's not self-inflicted.
Yeah, and Homelander, it was really the only thing he gave a shit about was public opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but Soldier Boy is not self-inflicted, so he doesn't really he doesn't have a problem switching between his images.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when he's in public, he's self-confident, but when he's by himself, when with just other supes, he's a complete asshole.
Yeah,
like he doesn't even hold back. Just Soldier Boy's a complete asshole when he's around other supes.
Which again is not surprising given his character.
Yeah. But Soldier Boy tortured Black Noir multiple times, and gunpowder all the time. He actually uses regularly be able to do gunpowder.
Yeah, he basically bullied the shit out of gunpowder.
Yeah. So as a child abuser, he's the only person who doesn't really treat like crap is the one who he was having sex with.
Yeah. Which is also kind of a difference from Homelander because it's we learned I think in season 2 that Homelander and Maeve used to be together and he still treats you like shit.
Yeah. That's they only treat Crimson Common nice because he's actually having sex with her, so he doesn't care.
Yeah.
But so he actually cares about her feelings, but the rest of the team doesn't care. So that's why he beats up Black Noir and gunpowder all the time.
Yeah.
And he probably I assume he did that to Mindstorm and Dynamite Twins as well.
Probably. I mean, if he did it to those two, he probably did it to the rest.
So yeah, Black Noir still strong from Soldier Boy. The only reason why he has no problem with Homelander is because Black Noir actually raised Homelander, at least going by the boys diabolical.
Yeah, he was involved in actually bringing Homelander up.
Yeah.
So he kind of, is in a mentor position almost to Homelander, whereas with Soldier Boy, it was the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
Soldier Boy was his mentor, just, not in a good way.
And then turns out meanwhile turns out the Russians didn't have a secret weapon that takes out supes. It's all the supes rest of payback that took down Soldier Boy. And during that fight, Soulja Boy beat Black New York so hard they lost his ability to speak.
Mm-hmm. And the rest of them, were barely hanging on.
Yeah. I mean, he's the only one. He was on one there super strength. So
it took the entire rest of the team to bring him down.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, except gunpowder. Gunpowder wasn't there. He couldn't really do anything anyway. I mean, come on, it's gunpowder.
Yeah, I mean, it's gunpowder. He shoots guns. Guns have no effect on Soulja Boy.
Exactly.
Like he'd probably just be sitting there hosing it with a machine gun or whatever. Soulja Boy's like, wait your turn. I'll get to you in a minute.
Yeah. So how do you feel about the Black New York's backstory though? I mean, this is different. I mean,
it makes him a lot more sympathetic as a character because you learn a lot more about him and his history and his past with not only Payback but also with Homelander, and it kind of explains a lot more about what side he falls down on.
Yeah, because they made Black New York into actual character. Because previously, before this, we knew nothing about him at all whatsoever because he doesn't speak. And nowadays,
he was basically Snake Eyes.
Exactly, Snake Eyes. He's just Snake Eyes. He's just a quiet assassin, an all full body costume that goes around and kills people that the heroes need, that the fake heroes need to kill.
Yeah, and never says a word. Never really does much outside of that.
Yeah, I mean, we all know Snake Eyes, G.I. Joe. That's basically what Snake Eyes was. Snake Eyes is. That's literally Black Noise. It's evil Snake Eyes. Well,
yeah, and it's like he's. I think they did a lot more character development with him, and I think he's a lot better character for it. Mm-hmm. One of the few times in the show that they actually do some really positive character development, and that you learn a lot more about him in a great way.
And Butch's backstory was also okay. I mean,
yeah, you learn a lot more about him and his motivations, which I think is good because the first 2 seasons, he seemingly does shit that he shouldn't want to do, and you kind of learn a lot more about him in episode 7, and it also kind of plays more into the antagonism between him and Homelander. Because it's not at first it makes sense. Obviously he thought Homelander killed his wife. But once he finds her alive, then
he tried to rescue her. And they of course didn't want the kid being around at all. Of course, yeah, he's just Homelander's son, Ryan. So of course. Then Ryan accidentally kills Homelander. Accidentally kills his own mother, and as Wes injures Stormfront.
Yep. And I think that leads a lot into Ryan's little subplot of how where he ends up at the end of season 3.
Yeah, but I didn't really like this. I mean, it didn't really make any sense to me because what happened in season 2? It's like
and it turns out Homelander was right all along. Because his mother was trying to raise him as a normal kid, didn't want him as part of any of that. Hoped he would never develop powers.
No, he did, but she already knew about him having powers, but it didn't matter.
But she wanted to ignore it as much as possible.
Yeah, I mean, even he wants to ignore it, kind of like Kimiko does.
Yeah, even Butcher wants to ignore that side of him and pray he never uses it.
No. Ryan even had a conversation with Kimiko earlier in the season.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but they both feel the same way. They both felt the same way about the powers. So,
and yet something snaps in him at the end of the season.
I don't know why. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah, it is kind of a sudden 180.
Yeah, because it makes no sense to me because how would you and how would he come back to Homeland even though he already knows at this point in the story that he's that psychopath?
Yeah, I mean that's an interesting plot point in that why would he? But it's also kind of, I think the way the writers are trying to get at is he's very much his father's son.
Yeah, that didn't make sense to me. Like what? Like why? Why?
And the ending scene is the proof in the pudding for that, where
Mm.
all these protests are going on because a lot of people are finding out what Vought and Homelander have been up to,
Mm.
and they're not happy about it. And some guy throws a can or something at Homelander and it hits Ryan.
Yeah. And then Ryan kills him. Then Homeland kills him. So
and then Homelander just fucking kills him, and Ryan smiles.
I know. And then and also I forgot to mention the stepdad to Mother's Milk's daughter.
Yeah.
Who's there at the rally, and he approves. Now, me personally, how I interpreted that scene was I didn't think he actually approved. I actually thought he was doing that just so he wouldn't die.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. But most of the people apparently most of the parents said the rats tried to do a dig at Trump's supporters.
Fair enough.
I mean, but at the same time, I didn't think he when I first saw, I didn't think he actually cheered on because he he supports Homeland. I think he cheered on because at that moment just realized Homeland is evil. But what else is he gonna do? Otherwise, he might kill him too. Like
kill
everybody.
Like, I got to go along with this now because I'm in it.
Yeah. So.
That ending I thought was pretty interesting in that it's the first time the public has seen Homelander kill an innocent person.
No, not the first time. The second time, but
second time.
Yeah.
The first time openly.
Yeah, first time blatantly. Yeah. Yeah.
And clearly without cause.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Also, earlier in the season, here we get Starlight exposed all the fake superheroes, exposed Vought and all the superheroes are actually evil and don't care about nobody.
Mm-hmm.
But
which will be interesting to see what they do with her.
Yeah, she gave up, and she also gave up being Starlight. She's just Annie.
Yeah. So she's probably one of the better characters in the whole series.
Mm-hmm.
In that she is a soup, but she's actually a decent person, unlike most of them.
Mm-hmm. She actually lives up to the title of superhero, whereas all of them are just villains pretending to be heroes, or just.
And she kind of inspires Maeve in a lot of ways to start acting against Homelander.
Yeah, and she Maeve teams up with Soldier Boy and Butcher to kill Homelander at the end of the finale, which finale was kind of disappointing because a lot of people instead of having Soldier Boy take away Homelander's powers, that's what most people would have wanted. Queen Maeve apparently, quote unquote, sacrificed herself to stop Soldier Boy, but she doesn't die.
No, she's just.
It makes no sense.
Which, if you're gonna have her do that, then have her do it.
Yeah, that actually confused me when I saw it too. Also, Soldier Boy didn't die. Because when he said I'm not going back in that box, I thought he was going to self-destruct.
So did I, and yet that's not what happened. It's just like,
but he's back on ice again. Like what?
Yeah, it doesn't resolve anything.
Like what? Like that's why I feel like he's back on ice. What? Wait, he did. Wait, how did Rise want to use Soldier Boy again? Why? When he said that line, I'm not going back in the box. I thought he's going to self-destruct. Like,
yeah, that would have been a good way to deal with that. But no, it's just like, no, we're just going to put him back on ice again. And it's clear that the writers are kind of doing that, like, just in case we need them for later.
No, they chickened out again. They kind of chickened out. Like that's how I felt. They chickened out.
Either that, or they figure out he's a useful character in terms of being a threat to Homelander.
Mm-hmm.
So they're kind of literally keeping him on ice, just in case they want him later. Because in a lot of ways, I think sometimes they write themselves into a corner, and they don't know how to get out of it. So they just kind of keep these characters around just in case they need it.
Yeah. I wouldn't. But I wouldn't. Also, they're introducing new suits. I mean, oh, I forgot. Before that fight, Homelander kills Black Noir because he realized Black Noir lied to him. Like
Yeah.
didn't. Like he didn't tell. Oh yeah, Soldier Boy's actually Homelander's dad. He was a sperm to make Homelander,
Yep.
and Black Noir didn't tell him ever.
Yeah, which Homelander took as kind of a betrayal.
Because he can write, still write, so he does do that.
Yeah.
Or text him something, yeah. So
and Black Noir, like, obviously knew. So,
I mean,
like, Homelander really got upset about that one, and yeah, we all know what happens when Homelander gets upset.
Yeah, he gets his spine ripped out, literally. Next season, they're replacing him with another Black Noir because they easily can do that since he doesn't talk and wears a full body costume.
Yeah, it's just another dude in a black suit.
Yeah. So yeah, so it's very easy to do. But and what's his name? And wait, I forgot. Was it? A Train. Oh, A Train got a new heart, superpower heart from after killing Blue Hawk. So now he got another new heart. Now he can use his powers again. So he's back where he was in season 1
again.
So now he's back where he was in season 1. He still worked for Homelander as just the evil speech goon. So back to square one on that. So about the only thing
when they reverse course on something like that, where it's just like, oh, he can't use his powers anymore. Oh, but now he can because magical bullshit reasons.
Yeah, but you got a new heart from Blue Hawk. So, and after he killed him.
Yeah.
So that made sense. But from a story standpoint, it really doesn't because so now he's back at square one. So where I don't know where it's going with that. Again, A Train's kind of pointless. It's kind of like the
yeah, like we've been saying all along. A Train has not been a meaningful character since season 1.
Mm-hmm.
So why is he still around?
Mm-hmm. And but the Deep kills somebody for the first time. We see him kill a politician to replace him with Newman.
Yep.
And even then he was in the pool.
Yeah.
So,
but it's like one of the few times you actually see the Deep doing something other than being incompetent.
Yeah. So again, how do you feel about the season overall? Because it's better than season 2. I know that much.
It's by far better than season 2, and I think they're setting up things for season 4 if that ever comes out.
It will. It will.
But I don't. It's nowhere near as good as season 1.
Yeah, of course.
But I'm interested to see where they go with it. But this one was not as strong as it could have been.
Yeah. I mean, I know. Especially with that whole Queen Maeve not being dead, and Queen, I will like the perfect. They really had the perfect ending. Queen Maeve and the Soldier Boy blow up.
Yeah.
But wait, what? Wait. She's not dead.
And that would have been the perfect redemption arc for Maeve too, because she's been complicit in a lot of this shit. So sacrificing herself to actually save people would make her the hero that she's supposed to be. So that would have been a good send off for her. But again, I think the writers chickened out. They don't have somebody to replace her, so they need her.
Wait, don't they still have? Don't they still have Starlight there? I mean,
they do, but for whatever reason, they don't want to kill her off.
Yeah. For I don't know why they didn't kill. Yeah, and why didn't they kill Soldier Boy off? I don't really know. That thing.
In case they need him to use against Homelander later, is what I'm guessing.
Yeah, but why did they have him say that line? I'm not going back in the box. That implies that he was self-destructing.
That one didn't make sense. It's just like if he's gonna end up back in the box, don't have him say that. That one it was just kind of one of those why. Like it's not good or bad. It's just I don't know why they did it.
Okay, they introduced 2 new, well, technically 3, but 2 new soups for season 3. Season 3 and 4. I mean season 4. Okay. Can you look up your end because like I said, mine might not go so well. Might go super slowly.
Yeah, and like some of the soups they introduced, it's like, especially you don't really want to like get to know them at first because you've seen so many of them die.
Yeah,
You're just
but
like,
yeah,
okay, how long are you going to be here?
yeah, okay, yeah. So as I said, going slowly. I can't call anything up. So you go ahead doing your end. Like, wait, look up the new soups introduced in season 4. Hold on.
Yeah, hang on one sec.
Yeah, my it's going slow. Yeah. Just like expected.
Hang on one second.
What like the new yeah, we already know they're replacing Black Noir with another Black Noir. So
Yeah,
so
which
that
yeah, okay.
makes sense and it's easy to do. There's another guy in a black suit.
Um, there, there we go. Hang on one second here. Soldier Boy, the TNT Twins, yeah, Mindstorm, which they don't really do much with.
They didn't do no. So season 4 new suits. Season 4. I'm talking about.
Yeah, and I haven't seen any that are actually in season that are going to be in
No.
season
So no,
4.
the season 4 that's coming up after this. Next year.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything that they're
There
going to do.
are articles talking about the characters' names. So I just want the names. Okay, I remember the names.
Yeah, I haven't seen
I remember they
that
had
they're.
names, but I don't remember them.
I haven't seen any of the articles about upcoming season 4.
Yeah, okay. Okay, let me look up my phone.
It's like, I mean, the boys are just one of those characters, or it's one of those shows that like I enjoy it a little bit, but I'm not a big enough fan to like look up articles and stuff like that on what's coming up and stuff like that. It's like, when it's out, I'll watch it. Maybe.
Yeah, yeah. I
And
mean,
the sad part is like that's the reaction to most, and this is one of Amazon's best series.
it is the best series for the most part.
The Terminalist I liked a lot better than this.
I didn't see that yet.
That one's a good one. I really enjoyed that. But this one is like it's one up until that came out. It was the best thing that Amazon had ever done. And after 3 seasons, the best they can muster from a lot of people is But I think most of their focus has been on the Rings of Power for the last 2 years because
I mean, why they spend so much money on that when you knew it wasn't going to work?
A lot of it was getting the rights to it because they had to pay. I think they had to spend like $750 million on the rights, and it was not money well spent. But yeah, I don't know what's coming up in season 4.
Wait. The Sister Sage and Firecracker. So these 2 female suits are 1 white, 1 black. 2 females.
Of course.
Now I don't know what these gonna be. I mean, like, also they some reason I forgot to mention. There's some reason that in this season, I understand this. They up the what's her name? The chick, the red hair. I forgot. Turns out she's bald, by the way.
Oh yeah, the one that got fired in season 1.
No, yeah, but they ranked her up to the main chick doing PR for the Thai company. She's
basically supposed to be Homelander's handler.
Yeah, Homeland. Yeah.
I don't know where they're going with her either.
No, she serves the purpose very well. So.
Yeah, where she's just the generic corporate drone that's trying to keep track of Homelander, and that's just not how that works. The only reason it worked in season 1 was because of the relationship between him and Stillwell. And that she knew how to handle him. And almost installed herself as a mother figure to him. Which there's some serious fucked up shit going with that one, but we'll let that go.
I know. Yeah. Sister Sage and Firecrackers, black and white team, like, but yeah, those are 2 characters this dude's and I don't know what he gonna do with that.
My guess is they'll be in for a couple episodes and then they'll die.
No, I guess there'll be new villains, major villains this show. But
Okay.
like, I mean, because no, every season has a new suit introduced as a major villain.
Yep.
So like, second season was Stormfront.
Yep.
This season Soldier Boy. What's gonna be next? If we go, I was a pattern here. Gonna do it next season. So I don't know how it's gonna work
Yeah.
because
We'll
you
see.
do a duo at once. They never did a duo at once before.
Which means they're probably going to complement each other in some way. Like either their powers will kind of work together, or their personalities are supposed to.
Yeah. Yeah. So Amazon Prime is this thing, and is thing. Also, Amazon Prime. I don't know when Invincible season 2 comes out because Invincible's been compared to this quite a bit, but I didn't really love it like Invincible that much. But
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you seen Invincible, so
Yeah, it was okay.
yeah, like, but
I mean, if you compare it to a lot of the Marvel and DC animated stuff from the last few years, it looks like an absolute masterpiece by comparison. But
I mean, DC still does his animated stuff, but the animated movies, I haven't seen all of them, so I don't know.
yeah, I mean, but like by comparison to the stuff that DC and Marvel have been producing lately,
I mean, I love Hitmonkey
by comparison, but
I mean, I love Hitmonkey. Hitmonkey was good.
yeah, that was good.
Like, you seen Hitmonkey? Or
I've seen parts of it.
was it? Yeah. MODOK was not very good, but that's him doing another comedy show with a villain as the main character. It didn't really work that way.
Yeah, and it's an interesting way to bring MODOK back into Marvel. Like, my thing was, where the hell was he during Iron Man's movies?
No, not talking about the movie. Talking about MODOK was not that good. They made a MODOK cartoon.
Yeah, I know, and that one was not very good. But it's a good villain. Where the hell was he in the MCU? He wasn't.
It wasn't.
It's just like, why are you not using MODOK?
Yeah, but I understood why I didn't use him. I mean, he's a giant floating guy with giant head.
Yeah, but he's a good villain.
Yeah, but anyways, Invincible was compared to but the boys alive. They even did a Homelander versus Omni Man death battle, which was pointless to me. So Omni Man this wins, yeah. Obviously, but like, I'm not. Are you interested in Invincible season 2?
I mean, I'll probably watch it at some point. It's not one of those things like I gotta watch it as soon as it comes out.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll probably get around to it. Yeah, it's kind of like The Boys for me, where because it's not something that I need to watch as soon as it comes out. Like and do all this, but I'll probably get around to it.
Because Made in Abyss, I had to watch it as soon as it came out. Made season 2.
Yeah, like when season 2 of Made in Abyss came out, at least, I didn't even wait until every episode was dubbed. I just went right down it.
Yeah. So but like Invincible, because the thing with Invincible is that I didn't really care about because the main character of the story aren't really fleshed out that much because they spent so much time focusing on lots of weird random stuff.
Yeah, and it was just kind of like, okay.
Oh, speaking of anime, right now I'm watching the old anime from 1990s.
Nice.
Guess what's called? Master Keaton. By the same by Naoki Urasawa, the same guy who created Monster.
Okay.
It's same art style too. All of his manga got the same art style.
Well, that's good. I really like the art style from Monster.
But Master Keaton's episodic anime about this guy. Pixar's kind of cross between Indiana Jones and Jack Reacher. So
interesting.
So he's a guy who's a college professor who goes around the world doing random adventures with getting involved with random different things, and gets in danger. Used to be in the military. Like, that's his backstory.
Okay, I'll have to check that out.
I'm watching them up to episode 5. No,
Yeah, I'll have to check the series out. That actually sounds like it could be pretty cool.
Yeah, but also I'm almost done watching Pantheon. That's a cartoon, American cartoon.
Pantheon's on my list to watch.
This show is amazing for the most part. They actually they actually did the animation style the Iron Man Armored Adventure was trying to do right. No, because
you mean what Marvel? Yeah, like you said, what Iron Adventures tried to do and failed miserably.
No, the animation style. Talk about the art style, the visuals, how it looked.
Yeah, no, but I mean, like the art style that they tried to pull off with that and did horribly.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they took that. Yeah, they actually got that kind of art style, but it did much better. It was much better though. So, well, no, how the almost pseudo 3D, pseudo 2D thing, like in between.
Yeah, it's like kind of almost like the Telltale games where it's kind of a 3D but cell shaded.
Well, this is yeah, exactly, or like 2D traced or 3D or something.
Okay, yeah,
or some kind of weird hybrid thing,
which can work really well.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it look really good, and I've also seen it look really terrible.
I know you don't like you don't like how the Borderlands games look.
Yeah, they did it in an odd way.
But the thing is,
it didn't really work for me.
I don't know why it's cell shaded because it's not comic booky. So
yeah, if they were going to make it like a kind of a comic booky video game, that art style would have worked. And that's why it worked for things like The Walking Dead.
Because The Walking Dead based on comic book. Yeah, but they just like, what does that have to do with space mercenaries? What's that have to do with?
Yeah, it was just kind of like it was a weird artistic choice that they made for that show or for that game, and I'm just like, okay.
So, bye, chat. And if you watch this on replay, please subscribe to Pope Metallica.
I'd appreciate it. We talk a lot of rock and roll on my channel, and it's